So as I'm driving on the way to see the Thursday night premiere of Five Nights at Freddy's, I literally see a tweet that says, Five Nights at Freddy's premieres on Peacock in 1 hour. Are you excited? I'm like, damn. This one's coming on Peacock? They ain't even giving it a chance in theaters? I'm like, is it really that bad? And then 30 minutes into this thing, I'm like, yeah. Yeah, this probably would have been better watching on Peacock. Or just not at all. Like, honestly, it would have been better off if we just watched Markiplier compilations and just watched all his videos compiled in one movie, and we would have been a lot more entertained, because this movie is a big disappointment. It sucks, but I'd rather just say it's really a huge disappointment. Guys, this is 5 long-ass nights at Freddy's. It's 5 nights at Freddy's, but it feels like 5 long-ass nights at Freddy's. Here's my review. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here. This is my review for Five Nights at Freddy's, starring Josh Hutcherson, Matthew Lillard, Elizabeth Lail, Piper Rubio. It was directed by Emma Tammy, and our story is based off of the popular cult classic video game where basically a security guard gets hired to work at Freddy Fazbender's for however long he can survive, because throughout the night creepy shit happens where these animatronics come alive, and there's a crazy ass story behind it where they're possessed by ghost children, and he basically has to be able to survive the night while also trying to protect his sister, because they want to turn his sister into one of the animatronics. And let me explain to you guys, look, like I said, this movie not only was supremely disappointing, but just for anyone who's ever watched, like I did, I didn't get to play Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't even think I would have been able to get through the game if I had to play it myself. But I watched Markiplier play this thing on YouTube, and I was completely hooked and completely entertained by watching him play this game. But I was completely hooked by the game because the gameplay is not only creepy as fuck and the story is not only interesting as hell, but as you get throughout the game and you start to learn what these animatronics are, like, and the story behind everything, and like slowly start to peel back the layers to the story, it's fucking creepy as hell. So I'm thinking to myself, there's no way you have all this incredible material right here in front of you from the games. Like, there's no way you can mess this up, right? There's no way you can really fumble this game, this adaptation into a movie, because everything's right there in front of you. You just use what you have in front of you, and you can make a good movie. But no, for some reason, this movie just completely missed the mark by so much. Now, look, I'll probably just start off with what I liked about the movie, which is honestly just 2 things. Elizabeth Lail, she did a very good job. And one of the little creepy kids with the blonde hair, let me see if I can find the actor's name. His name is Grant Feely. He did a good job. He was creepy as hell. Josh Hutcherson, I wasn't the biggest fan of. It's not necessarily his fault. His character is just written so poorly. The story is just honestly so dull and lifeless and bland, and it really sucks because this is such a very interesting concept, a very interesting game, very interesting story, and they just, like I said, they just completely messed it all up. Matthew Lillard, I can't really dive into my issues with Matthew Lillard without getting into crazy spoilers, but I'll say this. No, it's not Matthew Lillard's fault at all. It's just, like I said, the writing is supremely shit. The writing for these characters is ass. The use of Matthew Lillard was ass. And the movie is just predictable as hell. So, this is just going to be me ranting about how I was just thoroughly disappointed by this movie. Like I said, the 2 things I did like was Elizabeth Lail's performance and Grant Feely. Josh Hutcherson was okay. Piper Rubio. Kind of annoying. She was kind of annoying as the child actor. I'm not going to be too hard on a kid, but she kind of annoyed me. I wasn't the biggest fan of hers, but honestly, there are so many other issues with this movie than her. First of all, every other side character in this film that's not one of the main ones are just annoying as hell. I couldn't bring myself to even care about the connection they were trying to do between Josh Hutcherson's dreams, active live dreams, and how it tied into what was going on at Freddy Fazbender's. Like, I couldn't bring myself to really care about any of that. The movie is predictable as fuck. And when I tell you, like, it really starts with Matthew Lillard. It's like the director literally said, I don't know if you want to just go ahead and reveal everything, right here in your dialogue right now, but you don't really have to try to keep it a mystery. Just deliver the lines and we can just move on with the rest of the movie. They did a terrible job at trying to even remotely make this thing creepy or interesting, or just even try to keep you guessing as to what the hell is going on in, Freddy in this movie. I mean, for those who have never played the game and those who have never watched anybody play the game, this movie is a horrible representation of what you've probably heard about the game itself. The game is 1,000 times more entertaining. Watching somebody play it is probably 1,000,000 times more entertaining than this movie. And like I said, you're just going to be supremely disappointed. It's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth. And for those who actually did watch the game, watch people play the game, or watch people or play the game themselves, well, I don't see how you can't be disappointed by what you saw. This thing is ass. This movie is really bad. It's like I wanted to give it a chance, and there are fun moments in the movie, and that's really most of those fun moments are just the callbacks to the game itself, because you got to call back, you have to have callbacks to the video game adaptation because it's a video game adaptation. But it's just a mess. It's like you get a package. You guys know when you get a package and it says handle with care. Well, they clearly got this package and they did not handle it with any care whatsoever. It's like you guys didn't even play the game and get the gist of what made the Five Nights at Freddy games creepy. You didn't get the gist of what made the story so fucking twisted and just kept you so invested in what the hell is going on to find out what's going on next. I could not bring myself to care about Josh Hutcherson's whiny ass side story. And like I said, it does tie into what's actually going on, but by that time you knew what was coming, what was going to happen from a mile away, and then on top of that, it's just what I really hated was how predictable the movie was, but then it was trying to act like it wasn't so predictable, because Elizabeth Lail's character, as good as a performance as she gave, her character was so annoying, trying to hide information and just trying to act like everything's such a secret, and she would just lash out randomly at him, and I'm just like, it's a lot of random, just unnecessary moments in this movie that just make your head fucking hurt. And I was just disappointed. It was like I was really trying to bring myself to. I felt like I was truly the only one in the theater. Not like I was in a pretty packed theater. Not gonna lie to you. And I will say this: I did see a tweet earlier about people having no theater etiquette in somebody else's showing of Five Nights at Freddy's. I will say this: I feel like a lot of the people in my theater, that was probably their first movie they ever came to see in a very long time, because people were cheering and clapping and going crazy at shit that just didn't need to be. You didn't need to be cheering or clapping for any of it. I didn't know, but some people, they just, have a little more fun with things than others, and I don't know how they had fun with this. Like, there was one reference that clearly went over my head because everybody was going crazy. I did not get it whatsoever, but honestly, I felt like I really wasn't missing anything, because the movie is just dumb. The movie is just really disappointing. It's really dull. It's lifeless. It's so disappointing. It's such a wasted, I don't even know what the word is. It basically wastes Matthew Lillard. It wastes his talent. It wastes his just complete craziness, his charm, everything that Matthew Lillard can bring to a screen. They completely waste that. The animatronics themselves are not scary whatsoever. This movie's not scary at all. This movie's not creepy. It's not scary whatsoever. It doesn't capture anything that any fear or any sense of terror that you can get from playing this game. The movie does not capture that whatsoever. These animatronics were not scary, not creepy. It's just very disappointing. Now, granted, if one of the animatronics were to like pop up behind me, would I be scared? Absolutely, duh. They are creepy. They're still creepy in a sense. They're just, the movie makes them a lot less scarier than the game did. The game, I was scarred for months. Chica, Foxy, I thought them motherfuckers were coming for me for a very long time. But look, overall, guys, this is just going to be a written off, forgettable movie by the end of the year. Honestly, I'm good with forgetting this thing by tomorrow or later today. After this review, I really don't want to remember this experience. If anything, guys, if you want an actual Five Nights at Freddy's great experience, just go on YouTube and watch Markiplier play the games, and you will literally see a night and day difference about how amazing that is versus how shitty this movie is. But for all those reasons and so many more, guys, I'm going to give Five Nights at Freddy's a 1.5 out of 5 stars. Now, some people may think that rating is really harsh. I really tried to give it a 2, but that was like the highest I was going to go, but I really couldn't bring myself to do that because the more I think about this movie, the more sad I get. Just the more disappointed I get at the wasted attempt of what this was. They tried. They really tried, but they did not succeed. But look, guys, Five Nights at Freddy's, let me know what you thought about the movie. Let me know what your game, like your experience was like. Did you play the game? Did you watch Markiplier play? Did you watch somebody else on YouTube play? What was your experience like versus watching the movie? Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to comment down below, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff and so much more. Thank you guys so much for watching. Look, this is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.